Trevor Lawrence and Calvin Ridley, I think, have one of the highest ceilings for fantasy players, just in general, both of them.
Darnell Mooney has not proven to be, you know who else hasn't?
Claypool.
Chase Claypool. So much so that they went out and traded and got DJ Moore, right?
How manly is it to clean things, though?
When you power
I mean, you're cleaning somebody else's things.
No, it wasn't. I was cleaning my things. Power washing.
Put power in front of it. It's power cleaning.
Power.
What of yours were you cleaning? What stuff were you cleaning?
My balls. What do you want to know?
Hey everybody, welcome back to Guys on Sports. We have a great show for you planned today. Before we get started with it, just a quick mention to stay tuned for August. August is going to be an exciting month. We have a lot of guests planned going into the September month as well, right before the season starts. And then what are we doing today? We got a few things going on. We're going to be doing the best fantasy stacks. We're going to be doing a little smash or pass NBA free agency edition. We're also going to be going over wide receiver deep cuts. What are the wide receivers you should be taking in the ends of draft or in the free agency waiver wire? We have no TikTok take. My intro is boring, Phil.
We're not.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine.
Listen,
it's fine.
A peek behind the curtain.
Long day.
We're working late for you people.
Yeah.
It's the least you could do.
Like and subscribe.
I was in the gym early this morning.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Gym back to the house, and the house.
Yeah.
Work.
Tan laundry.
Pressure washing. Working on doing man stuff.
Yeah.
Man stuff.
Yeah.
Running
Shirt
back
off.
home.
Shirt off.
Stop at the store.
How manly is it to clean things, though? Like in general.
When you power
I mean,
wash.
you're cleaning somebody else's things.
No, it wasn't. I was cleaning my things.
No.
Power washing.
I feel like it's, well, sure. Put power in front of it. It's power cleaning.
Power. It's manly.
What of yours were you cleaning? What stuff were you cleaning?
My balls. What do you want to know? Hey, if you ever thought, why my wireless bill so high, let me tell you about Mint Mobile. We're partnering with for today's video. Now with an extra special offer for our channel, if you sign up before July 14th using our link, you can get their unlimited plan, which is normally $30 a month for just $15 a month. That's 50% savings off their already super low price.
You might already know Mint Mobile if you've seen those funny ads from Ryan Reynolds, who is also an owner.
Hey there, it's Ryan Reynolds, owner of Mint Mobile.
But let me quickly tell you how awesome their service is.
Why should you pay more than you have to for access to the same network?
All Mint Mobile plans include unlimited nationwide talk and text, plus lightning fast 5G and free mobile hotspot.
Switching to Mint is super easy thanks to their digital eSIM cards that you can sign up and activate immediately right on your phone from the comfort of your own home.
Worried your phone isn't compatible? Mint's got you. If your phone isn't eSIM compatible, Mint will ship you a new SIM card for free.
Use our link to get started or click the link in our description, scan our QR code, it helps out our channel.
I don't know where to go with that. Go right into it.
Come on, baby. I need you this week.
Oh, yeah.
It's your time. Time for a breakout.
Sounds so beautiful, don't you agree?
I always want to re-record that, but there's no way to do it better.
It's perfect.
No, why would you want to change it?
That one's perfect.
If we try to redo it, it's not gonna, just like your weird New Year's one that I love. It'll never be
I forgot
as
about
good.
that one.
It'll never be as
I
good as
forgot
that.
about
It's
that
on
one.
there.
What was the one where it's like, is that what the one I'm thinking of where it's like, there's like twinkly?
Yeah, that's
like,
him. Can you play it?
I don't know. Is it on
It's
here?
on like the 4th or 5th page.
You know what? I'm going to
It
go
was
on a
about
ledge and
New
say
Year's
it's
resolutions.
I'm going to go on a ledge and say it was perfect.
It's that time again.
Perfect.
It's our time to change.
It's terrifying.
It's a time for resolutions. Fly away, butterfly.
See, now, if he tries to do that again, you won't recreate that. So that's the thing.
That's scary. That's terrifying. That's the
It's
scary
so
sound.
good.
I mean,
That's
I
a
thought-
scary sound.
Myself, I thought the flyaway butterfly was a good touch. I did. I think it.
I like
that
those. My favorite part.
Little class.
Fly away, butterfly.
All right, so
oh shit.
Whoa.
Oh. Should I do that or just the intro?
No,
Bring
just do
out
what
your
you do.
lightsaber,
No, go ahead. No,
boys.
go ahead.
No, you do it.
No.
No,
go
just have it. Just
All right,
have it.
fine.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, so fantasy best stacks. If you don't know what that means, the easiest example is Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, which is one we're not going to mention because of how obvious that one is. But it's essentially drafting a quarterback and then drafting the best beneficiary from that quarterback. You're basically getting double points there because he throws a touchdown, catches a touchdown. So
Yeah,
we're gonna
none of these are obvious.
we're gonna none
I
whatsoever.
think all these are pretty obvious.
Yeah, but the most obvious, it goes without mentioning, if you can get Mahomes and you can get Kelsey, it's a
Yeah.
pretty good stack.
That
It's
is
a
number
very
one.
good stack.
Yeah. So we've got 2 each. I guess we can start with Phil.
Well, it's in the order,
Just kidding.
right?
Oh,
You want
man.
me to go first, huh?
Yeah,
I'll go
Garaki
first.
goes.
You know what? Screw it. I'll go first. I'm going with another chalk one, which is probably number 2, is Allen and Diggs, and I'm doubling down because all the things we talked about in the last few episodes, if you guys haven't watched,
People
we've-
are really giving you guys some crap, but I think they're failing to understand what you guys meant.
Well, we've detailed that
Yeah.
Buffalo just hasn't done a lot around Buffalo. I mean, wow, that's crazy. A lot around Josh Allen to
Yeah.
really
Who is
make
Buffalo?
things- who is Buffalo to make things easier for him. And this is not about football. So for football, that makes them, not the safest bet to win that division, I'd say, going into the year. But for fantasy, this is the situation you want. You want clear-cut roles. You want a target share for a guy. You don't want people impeding on that. So obviously, Diggs is a top-end producer. Always has been. I think that continues. Gabe Davis does not put any fear in my heart that he's going to be losing targets to him.
Go
No,
next.
they drafted a tight end, but still, Diggs is the guy. Allen's going to be forced to still run inside the goal line, even with the guy they signed. I forget who it is
Damon
now.
Harris.
Yeah, okay, big deal. He's still
That's
gonna be forced to carry the ball. He's still gonna be having to make things happen. So for fantasy purposes, I ride that horse one more time.
Yeah,
Allen and Diggs can't go wrong.
it's a good chalk pick. You're right.
Hey, chalk if it's right. This isn't deep cuts stacks,
no.
right?
Oh,
right?
oh.
Take it easy.
I'm right there. So I'll go next, and here's another one that should be like pretty apparent to people. But he did have kind of an off year last year, so some people may question.
Some would say shitty here.
Yeah, so this is
Wasn't it?
Rodgers
You get
and
it?
Garrett Wilson.
The diarrhea thing. Shitty.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, he got it. Anyways, Rodgers and Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson was the wide receiver number 21 last year.
Did you
and-
just name both of them?
Yeah.
What? I just did one, then you go.
Wait, what
one.
did? No, he said.
No, I said Rodgers and Garrett
Oh,
Wilson.
I'm
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah.
I'll cut that out.
Yeah, we'll start again.
No, I could just. Yeah, I guess you just start again.
I
Sorry.
love this board.
All right,
an
so I'm going to go with another easy one that should
sorry.
be there, and that's Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson.
A-Rod.
Wilson was the number 21 wide receiver last year with absolute crap throwing him the ball.
Wow.
He had like a 40-year-old Flacco.
Shots
He had
fired.
Zach Wilson, who was, banging people's moms like left and right.
Aren't we all banging somebody's mom?
Wow.
Most of the part,
What?
mostly. Like I'm banging someone's
I
mom.
mean, he's not.
Not yet, but at one point we all wind up banging someone's mom. So let's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, we digress.
Okay, I just
Yeah.
want to point out.
Anyways,
They have moms.
Wilson was great.
That's a fact.
With nothing. So I personally think Rodgers has still got it. I think he's going to
yeah,
come
he's
back. In
got it.
fact, I would say
Pause.
if I had to put a bet on who this year's MVP could be, I think it's going to be Rodgers. I think he's got weapons all around him. I think 39 years old, he's still,
Still got
riding
it.
that
Yeah.
ayahuasca high.
Ayahuasca.
And I
You're
think
saying
he's
he'd be a
gonna have a good
4-time
year.
or 5? Would he be 5-time MVP?
Listen,
No.
3? No, 4. He'd be 4.
4.
Yeah, 4.
And I think that they gave him a ton of primetime games,
Of course they did.
and they hope that he looks good. And if he does, they're going to say it's all Rodgers.
That's why Brees Hall is going to be comeback player of the year. I mean, there are so many primetime
Yeah,
games.
when he starts playing in week 7.
There we go. So yeah. So anyways, that's my first stack.
These all can be obvious because it's the quarterback throwing to their best option on the field for the most part. But I don't think. But I don't think Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson is that obvious because Aaron Rodgers isn't going in the top 5 quarterbacks. Garrett Wilson is going in the probably second round with the likes of Amon-Ra St. Brown, Chris Olave. So you have to strategize and take
Yep.
Wilson and Rodgers on the back end. So yeah,
That's true.
It's not bad.
Yeah, good pick, Rocky.
Not like Alan Diggs though. That one's pretty easy. Like that one's obvious.
Well, I'm trying to take the right ones. I'm not trying to outthink anybody.
Now, one that isn't obvious.
Oh, here we go.
No, they're obvious.
There's a build up there.
I like, spoiler alert, I think the Jags offense is going to be good. I think I've said that probably 3 weeks in a row now. Trevor Lawrence and Calvin Ridley, I think, have one of the highest ceilings for fantasy players, just in general, both of them. And then you also have good value on where they're being taken, because Trevor, if you think of the first 5 quarterbacks you take in a fantasy draft, Trevor Lawrence isn't in that top 5. And Calvin Ridley is probably creeping up draft boards now just because of it getting closer to September. But I think you still get good value on Calvin Ridley.
I think it's a value stack.
Yeah. No, I love this.
I think it's risky though. Like a
I
lot
don't think
riskier
so.
the way you presented it, like it's a no-brainer. I don't think so, because
I'm sold on this.
well, I know you are,
Yeah.
but
But I think
I'm
there
saying
are
if
people
I'm
that question this.
well, I think Ridley. You know what I think about Ridley. I
Yeah.
loved Ridley, but essentially 2 seasons not playing. I just don't know what he's gonna look like.
Yeah.
Number one, and he's wide receiver 2 on the depth chart right now behind Christian Kirk.
Could benefit him.
It could, but we're talking about the best stack. So I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying it's a little bit like
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that might go T-Law and Kirk here.
I like this.
I mean, we've seen Kirk last year.
Yeah, as like the only option aside from Jose Jones that crept in at the back end of the season. But I think this is a great stack, and I am drinking the juice, and I think Calvin Ridley is going to be like a good fantasy player this year.
Yeah.
So this comes down to the fact that you're getting both of these guys not at premium in your drafts.
Yeah.
Them being connected, one is the double point, obviously, with the stack, but it's also the fact that you're not drafting Trevor Lawrence as a top 5 guy. You're not drafting Calvin Ridley as a top 20-ish guy.
Yeah.
And I really think that they're going to be on the top end of those rankings.
Yeah. I like this. To be honest with you, I do think you're right. Ridley's 2 years removed, but I think for wide receivers, typically they come back easier than like maybe a quarterback. Like we saw Watson struggle last year.
Yeah.
But I do think Ridley's going to be good. I think what you got to hope for is that you get the last 9 games.
And I think you are.
And not the first 8 where they were 2 and
that's
6.
obvious.
That was his rookie season. That was his rookie season. Doug Peterson had a whole season with him now. You saw what happened when they got things clicking at the end of it. I think this is, part of this is a gut feeling. I just, something about Calvin Ridley really wanted to play again. Second year with Doug Peterson screams just good momentum for
Yes.
a team that had none in the first place.
Do you want to, we had in one of our friend groups, we had a guy just abandon his team for the Jags.
Change over.
Do you want to give up the Eagles?
No.
Or the Jets?
Do it.
No.
For the Jags?
I'm rooting for Doug Peterson.
Yeah. But you
No.
got, well,
One-
there's probably
one
like,
Philly
is
Super
there
Bowl.
a third team that you follow in football, or is it just the Jets?
Trying to-
And do we know?
Trying to bait
I'm
me.
not sure.
Trying to bait me.
Yeah, I
I'll
think
be
it's
honest.
a third.
I'm not sure.
Nope, nothing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
If Orlando had a team.
I was trying to give you props.
Yeah, if Orlando- Jersey had one.
The criticism wasn't that it's a bad pick. It was just that it's a riskier one that
Yeah.
you're letting on, and I do think it is.
You're saying air caution.
Well, I think it's you presented it right after the first statement with that it is a value pick. Like you can go target this stack later on if you miss on some of the premium ones early, and you have pretty decent upside. Even if you didn't like Ridley as much as you could still
Yeah.
get Kirk and Trevor Lawrence probably at a decent value.
Yeah, plug and
so
play. Yeah.
It's a nice value stack. Like my second one's a value, like something you get later on that could probably really yield something good.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't have to agree. I'm trying to give you a compliment, and you just want to come at my picks.
Did I
But
say
what?
anything
Here's
after
what I'll
that?
say.
Did I say anything after
I
that?
think you're crazy for
Okay.
thinking Ridley is just going to hit the field and be a phenom again. There's no indication of that.
It'll take like a week or two, probably.
You're basing it on nothing but just.
You can
gut.
get him as a wide receiver
past
3.
performance.
Well, that's value. That's what I was saying. So you agree with me?
I said okay.
Okay.
I don't think that was agreement. We'll go with that. So. Yeah. All right. So should I do my second now? Go back this way?
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I'll get into mine. So my second is shame Mark's not here, but Justin Fields and DJ Moore.
Fields.
And people know if you've been watching, I like Justin Fields to be our QB1 this year. Even if he's not, if he's QB2, QB3, whatever. I think you're getting a top-tier quarterback with him. And DJ Moore, guess what? I'm going to tell you something. Darnell Mooney has not proven to be
No, he's not a
anything.
one. He
And you know
hasn't
who
looked
else?
like a one.
You know who else hasn't?
Claypool.
Chase Claypool. So much so that they went out and traded and got DJ Moore. Right now, they were going to trade out of that position anyway because they needed a quarterback. But that's the guy they chose to get. They're paying him on that big contract. He's going to get the ball. We've seen what he could be in Carolina, even with a subpar Cam Newton, turnstile at quarterback. I think the offense is going to go through him. They have an unproven running back in the backfield. They got Fields' legs, and they got DJ Moore as a playmaker. If you're just looking for volume, for me, what I'm looking for in a stack, if you're not getting the Mahomes, Kelsey, or Allen Diggs, I'm looking for volume. Trevor Lawrence, great. I like the Trevor Lawrence equation. The problem is for me,
there's not as much volume.
I got to pick the guy that I think is going to – it's like I have no problem eliminating Claypool and Mooney in this stack and just going with Moore and Fields.
Yeah.
So I don't know that you'll like my pick then because if you're
hold on. We can't.
What did you say? Go.
We can't. Hey, I'm giving you a compliment here, but I don't think his Fields that much of a passer to really
he doesn't have to
benefit from the stack of more catching the ball from
Fields
him.
went to the Ohio State University, so
That's just my question.
Passer. He's
All right,
a passer.
I like the stack. I like the stack.
I can answer. So the way I would retort that is, number one, I think we all expect them to pass the ball more this year, right? I'm not going to say it's going to be anything crazy like Rocky thinks, but I think they will pass the ball more. Yeah. And indicative of that is going to trade for Claypool and trading for DJ Moore. It's a clear emphasis on going towards the passing game and letting your running back walk, right? Number two, DJ Moore was a playmaker. They used DJ Moore in a lot of different ways, not just running routes.
Yeah, but he wasn't really Deebo Samuel at all.
Well, he wasn't as good as Deebo Samuel, but he's pretty damn close, and he was better. If you look at his 4 years and you stack them up against Deebo, he was better than Deebo.
I feel like Curtis Samuel did more of that for the Panthers than DJ Moore did when he was there.
First. I mean, it was a good 1-2 punch, but I think DJ also tended to be the guy catching the touchdowns.
Well, DJ Moore, I feel like DJ Moore was a better player, but that's me personally. But either way, they both kind of played the same role, and that's why Curtis Samuel wasn't there anymore. But DJ Moore is kind of a guy that you hand him the ball off, you get him screened. So they're going to find ways to get him the ball.
I mean, you made a pretty big trade. I agree. I think they're going to use him. And I don't know, like, is Claypool a for sure? Like, is it possible that they trade him out, actually?
That'd be crazy because he barely even played for them last year.
Well, but when he did, he didn't barely play. He played 7 games, and he looked bad.
Yeah, but he was on snap count, too. And
that's true.
Well, I
think even if he gets better, I think we've seen what Claypool is.
Yeah.
I think he's a lot of flash and not so much.
He seems to end up in the doghouse too.
Canadian Megatron.
He just has all the tools. He just doesn't. I just think he's going to be that guy that could go off maybe, and then disappear for 2 games.
Yeah.
And maybe make a big like he's just hit or miss. And Mooney's probably going to be a nice secondary piece, but DJ Moore is the clear cut guy. That's what I want. I mean, everybody we're talking about is. I mean, not everybody, but it's kind of the idea. You know, you're in your case here, you're picking the guy you think is going to be that guy.
Yeah.
I just think it's more clear cut with Moore.
Yeah.
But there's a downtick on the passer side. So,
all right. So my next stack would be one that maybe people don't normally do. You didn't mention Mahomes and Kelsey, so I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to follow that up with another tight end, Lamar Jackson. 2019 banner year for him, averaged almost 30 points a game, which is 3 more than any other quarterback last year. I think he's going to return to form. I like the fact, actually, that he's got OBJ, that he's got Bateman, but the guy I'm picking is Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews constantly finds a way to get open. He'll be even less covered this year because people are going to have to look at OBJ as a threat and Bateman. Mark Andrews finds the end zone, and I think he's one of those guys where there's very few difference makers at tight end. I think he's one of them. And he's what? In 2021, he was the number 1 tight end in football. So that's my stack. Knock it down, you guys.
Question for you.
Yeah.
Does it worry you at all? Do injuries worry you at all, or does it worry you that Isaiah Likely is his replacement and thrived last year when he didn't play?
I think Likely is a cause for concern, but I think he
likely is.
Yeah. But they didn't try to trade Mark. They didn't try to so I think they're still gonna. Andrews is still the tight end 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think if you look at what they did toward the end of the year, they ran a lot of 2 tight end sets, and I don't know that goes away. I think that they're going to use both on the field. So.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, that would be the only question I had is the Likely thing, and then all the guys they brought in.
Yeah.
But I think, the history is probably going to repeat itself. That's a security blanket. He trusts him. So I think when in doubt, he'll probably go to Andrews, big plays, red zone. But there is going to be a little bit of, those targets eaten into. But I still think it's probably, the best tight end quarterback stack besides
Well, and I think
Kelsey
that
Mahomes.
Jackson is going to come back to form.
I think so too.
I think he's going to run smartly, but I think he's going to pass a lot more, and I think he's gotten better every year in passing. He's got a ton of weapons. So even if Andrews comes back a little bit, I think Lamar is going to jump up quite a bit.
All right, cool. With my next one, I'm going to go with my quarterback, Jalen Hurts, and I'm going to go with A.J. Brown. Nope, just kidding. Going Devonta Smith. Reason why I'm going, and maybe the themes with my stacks are the value in them. They're not like the most bona fide Allen Diggs stacks, but getting Hurts, you're paying the premium for. In a lot of drafts, he's going in like the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th round. You could double down, piggyback that with Devonta Smith because A.J. Brown's going a little higher. I like Smith because, not only does he hold the franchise record for receptions, but he also is, that is why. He's a solid blanket. He's getting his receptions every game. A.J. Brown's probably going to get you more points on a given Sunday, but I like the consistency of my quarterback knowing that his wide receiver is going to catch the ball in these weird situations. And I feel like you have to, seeing Eagles games, I feel like they were trying to make it a point to get A.J. Brown the ball. Mm-hmm. I think Smith just gets it naturally.
Yeah, they're different styles. Yeah, I think A.J. Brown is probably the guy that'll blow up and, get you a 30-plus point game. And Devontae Smith's going to give you more consistent numbers. But I think it's the nature of the way they play. So it's kind of pick your poison. Mm-hmm. And if you want consistency and get the value of Smith, it's smarter to go that way.
It's the consistency, it's the value, but it's also the fact that if you're taking a consistent player alone, right, you're guaranteeing yourself like 10, 12, maybe 15 points. But if you're stacking that with another player that's going to be getting rushing touchdowns, it's going to be putting up their own 30-point games, you've got yourself 45 points right there. Yeah. So that's why I would take the consistency in a stack. Taking A.J. Brown is better than taking Devontae Smith. Obviously, that's why his ADP is higher. But stacking the two makes up for that shortcoming, I think. So.
Yeah, and I think Smith, like you said, he got the targets last year anyways. I think defenses had a year to learn maybe how to better defend A.J. And so I think that Devontae actually may get more targets because I think defenses will kind of like cheat up a little bit more.
Yeah. So. Hurts and Smith.
Yeah, so that's our stacks, y'all.
Yeah, so I guess we go. I don't need to hit the button again. We're still in our fantasy segment, but wide receiver deep cuts. So these are the wide receivers that are going either undrafted in a lot of leagues that you can get off waiver wire, or it's your last pick in your fantasy draft. And you're like, hey, let me roll the dice on this guy, and we're going to name 2 each. I guess we could start with Phil.
Start with me again? All right.
Sure
hey,
thing,
I'm up for it. Hey, so guy I'm going to highlight here is a guy we've talked about before. I think a guy we're all rooting for. John Mechie III. Missed his entire rookie season after being diagnosed with leukemia. I'm not sure the exact type of leukemia, but missed the whole season. It's going to be a full goal this year, but I think the things we want to point out here, obviously these are deep sleepers, but he's on a roster where there's no defined wide receiver one.
Robert Woods.
CJ Stroud coming in. Yeah, Robert Woods is a locker room presence.
Case in point, yeah.
Show the guys how to be a professional. That's who he is.
He's a coach in the locker room.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got C.J. Stroud is probably, arguably the most polished passer coming out of college. I guess you can argue that, but they're going to throw the ball. I think they're going to throw the ball. And for me, a big thing is you got to remember C.J. Stroud in college, his security blanket was who?
C.J. Stroud. Well, he had several.
His security. JSN. All right, JSN is a guy he leaned on in the slot a lot.
That's
okay?
true, yeah.
And he had 2 other guys in that locker room, too. Garrett Wilson. You want to name the other guy? Ohio State?
Chris Olave. He had Marvin Harrison. It depends on the year.
Okay, so you get where we're going with this.
I'm saying they're a factory.
He had a lot of talent on the outside. He still leaned on that slot, and that's where Mechie's slotted, no pun intended, to be this year. So if you're looking for a late round guy on a high upside quarterback, somebody has a history of leaning to that slot position, and you want to have a little bit of a feel good story on your team, John Mechie III.
Yeah, I almost went. When we thought deep cuts, I almost thought Nico Collins for the same reasons. But I mean, we all think he'll be better each year, but
And then it doesn't happen.
it doesn't happen, or it's a slower progress. Meanwhile, John Mechie, I mean, that's really the deep cut because we haven't seen him play yet. So I like the pick.
I love Mechie. I thought coming out last year, I was really high on him. He reminds me of a faster Jarvis Landry. Catches almost anything near him. He's got more speed than Landry, ran that slot well. And I love the fact that when you have a young quarterback, they're going to definitely check down a lot to their safety valve, which is that slot going over the middle or maybe the tight end. So I think it's a good deep.
Yeah, who's their tight end in
Dalton. They traded for Dalton. No, not in trade. They
signed for
signed
him.
Dalton Schultz.
Okay, yeah, so that could be.
Yeah, but he hasn't had a year since his big year.
Yeah.
Which was 2, maybe even 3 years prior.
Yeah, but Mechie, you could probably get around 14, 15.
Or the waiver wire.
Yeah, maybe the waiver wire. Yeah.
Most of my leagues, I've been trying to trade for him. Although I think people are starting to
Realize.
hear the camp. Chat.
Realize, baby.
Realize.
All right. So, want me to go next?
Sure thing.
Yeah. So I would go, and here's why. Like, I think this guy is. We've talked about him before. He's a rookie. He.
I think I just talked about him.
Yeah, we just talked about him. Thank you for bursting that bubble.
Nobody
But
knows
let's take the Band-Aid off. It's JSN. JSN is, as you said, a year removed. Last year was an injury-filled year, but he is healthy and running routes. The year before that, he had 1,660-something yards, double-digit touchdowns, ran that slot, but he can also run outside. He's not huge, but he's about 6'1", big, on the bigger side.
Just big enough.
And the thing I like about him, the reason why I think he's a deep cut is because he's got DK and Lockett, who are honestly probably going top 30 wide receiver, somewhere in that range. Maybe Lockett's a little bit further down, but I just feel like he's going to have the third best defender on him most games, and I think he's ready for it. I think he's going to excel, and I also think Geno maybe won't have as good of a year, but I think he's going to have close. I think there's still going to be a lot of passing.
Yeah, probably the number 1 third wide receiver to draft. Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
No, that's too much to think.
I mean, but it's probably true. It's probably why. That's a good pick.
Yeah.
All right, from another receiver that was drafted to my pick is Zay Flowers. The reason why is mostly because the people in front of him have injury concerns.
Yeah, they're going to get hurt.
Bateman, OBJ, I mean, say what you want. They'll be good when they're on the field, probably. But Zay Flowers is the guy that's coming in. He's going to have rapport, hopefully, with the younger, likelies there as well. Lamar's paid, so he's staying. He knows that these players are drafted and going to be around too. And for the fact, he's kind of a dog. He didn't even know who was in his own division. So I kind of want that guy on my fantasy team. Like, he's just going to go out there and catch passes.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, you were high on him coming out of the draft, I think.
Yeah, I got a little scared off when they added. I don't know. There's a lot of guys there, and you just don't know how much Jackson's going to throw. But I like Zay Flowers. I mean, it could go you're saying. It goes that way, and where you're getting him.
Yeah, a wide receiver deep cut. I mean, the guy's the third receiver on his team with the best potential on a team where the quarterback's paid and wants to protect himself and probably throw more. I mean, I like it.
Yeah, and you got a bunch of guys there that haven't really shown.
Yeah, dynasty. I'll take this all day, every day.
Yeah.
OBJ looked good as a third receiver before his injury.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like 2 tough injuries like that, he's not young anymore.
He's 30.
Yeah, and a lot of his game, he's a good route runner, but a lot of his game was built on his speed. And, you lose just a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
we'll see. Yeah, I can't wait to see him run around in preseason and see what he looks like. Because I think you can see him jump up in drafts if he makes a few catches.
Yes.
It's possible.
Well, he is that guy that can make that one-handed.
But
catch.
I hope people in my league I hope they draft OBJ. I
Yeah.
feel like that's a waste of a pick, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
We can snake back, I guess.
Okay.
Well, no, go ahead.
No,
No,
you
no,
could
no,
go.
no,
No, you,
no,
sir.
no.
You.
I mean, I'm going to go deep.
Oh.
Come on.
Well, we'll
it's
snake
kind of
back.
my MO.
What if I told you
Okay.
that the Packers drafted another receiver in the second round that nobody's talking about?
What if I told you?
It's not Jordy Nelson. It's not Devontae Adams. It is Jaden Reed.
Jaden Reed.
I think Jaden Reed is going undrafted. He's not being mentioned because Christian Watson had such a great year with a quarterback that's no longer there.
What about Romeo Dobbs?
Oh, I don't know. We saw what I think they're
real
going
hero.
to be. Whatever they were with Aaron Rodgers, they will be
Yeah.
less with Jordan Love.
Or more.
Or they will be more, but I'm saying they're going to be less because that's an opinion.
That's right.
Jordan Love, Christian Watson, do what you want with that. Christian Watson is probably the Packers receiver being drafted. I doubt Dobbs is even being drafted in redraft like that. So I'm taking Jaden Reed, the guy that is following the Pack. Packers do two things, right? They draft a quarterback while their quarterback is still in their prime, and they send that old quarterback to the Jets for some reason. They also draft studs in the second round that nobody talks about until they're the stud on the team. So I'll roll the
True.
dice on Jaden Reed.
I don't hate that.
Yeah, I don't hate Reed. I think he is a really solid receiver, and I think that Watson is going to come back to earth this year. I just do.
He has one route.
He has one
He
route.
runs down the field, and Aaron Rodgers is good at throwing Hail Marys. He's good at throwing those long passes.
Yeah.
Christian Watson catches them. Granted, like if Christian Watson played how he did for his like 6 games that he played, I think he would have been probably like the rookie of the year. He had like 6 touchdowns in 6 games. Like I'm not discrediting Watson at all. I'm just saying Reed it's
got
got
a
a feeling.
different quarterback. Like I don't think
something's
Love.
there.
I don't think Love quite has the touch and a deep pass. I'll be honest. My only fear for what you're saying is Love has not looked good. He's never like I haven't watched a game when he's played where I've been like, wow, that's a quarterback.
Yeah.
So
If Jaden Reed is a sliver of what I'm saying he could be, I mean, Devontae Adams went to the Raiders and had no drop off. Jordan Nelson actually also went to the Raiders and still was fantasy viable until he retired. So that's kind of weird. The Packers draft quarterbacks, then they draft their predecessor or their replacement. They send them to the Jets. Their great stud they draft in the second round that no one talks about plays really well and then goes to the Raiders afterwards.
That is kind of crazy.
That's really fair. Yeah.
Where did Donald Driver go?
I don't know.
Man.
Greg Jennings went to the Vikings.
Yeah, he did.
Didn't he go to the Raiders at one point too?
Greg Jennings?
I could have sworn.
I don't know about that.
Oh, I got to look it up now.
Yeah,
Go on
no.
the Google machine.
The Google machine.
All right, Rocky.
All right, so I'm going to go really deep, and this is a
Come on, man.
Detroit
Up there.
wide receiver. He was top 45 in he was top 45 in 2021. Jumped up to about top 35 last year. 23rd in yards per route run, and he was 11th in his catch rate. And that is Khalif Raymond of Detroit. He is.
Oh, didn't we have a thing with him last year?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. I think he has proven to be a great return guy.
Yeah.
I think he was like
Great
fourth
for
in the
fantasy.
league. Yeah, I know it's not good for fantasy, but they have shown that they've been mixing him in, and I think he's going to make somewhat of a jump, and specifically because I think Jameson being gone for 6 games, and the story's not done yet. There's another round of suspensions, and there's talk that there might be more dirt on him, and he might actually get a longer suspension.
Really?
So there's a lot of unknown. I love Detroit this year. I think they're going to move the ball, and I think he's going to be somebody you can get last pick of the last round for nothing, and he might really surprise you and be a top 40 receiver.
Is Detroit your Jacksonville?
I like Detroit a lot, but part of that is because I like their coach a lot. And they're also a team I hope does well because I
Sounds
feel
like
bad
me with the
for
Jags.
them. Yeah, I feel bad for them.
Sounds like Detroit to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
A little bit. All right. Hey, so my guy is a guy I was high on last year coming out of the draft, and that's Alec Pierce. Before I get into any numbers, there were games towards the end of the year. Let's not even talk about Matt Ryan, but Sam Ehlinger really kind of skewed his numbers. But Alec Pierce coming out was a guy who dominated in college vertically. He's a big guy with speed. Never mind that he's white. He's just a big guy,
he's
old
white.
guy with some speed. Physical player. 4 times from weeks 3 to 9, he topped 20 yards per reception. So he's a downfield threat even with bad quarterback play. Anthony Richardson is a downfield thrower. I think it's a great pick in that offense with Pittman, who has not quite lived up to the billing as a wide receiver 1. I am also high on Josh Downs here, but I don't think it really matches up as much with Anthony Richardson's style of play. Maybe that changes in the NFL, but I like Pierce as a late round. I mean, he's going based on CBS NFL ADP. He's going round 14 to 15, and we're talking about a guy that can make plays and hopefully with an explosive quarterback. You know, it's another dart on the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, it's pretty solid. Those are the deep
What
cuts.
what do you think about? I'm gonna ask you this because he talked about it earlier. What do you think about Josh Downs though?
I like what you guys have been saying about Josh Downs. Yeah.
But do you think it's like I think I kind of overlooked like the Anthony Richardson side where he hasn't really shown to be a great intermediate passer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, like you said, we'll see how it plays out. I still think Josh Downs has the talent and the potential there. So I mean, and there really hasn't been a receiver that you can really, put your stamp on in Indianapolis. Like
No, and I think people keep going to Pittman, but Pittman, you mentioned another receiver. Pittman kind of reminds me a little bit of Mooney. He's got talent.
Yeah.
He's had games where you're like, that's the guy I want to see, but he just hasn't been consistent. Part of it is quarterbacking.
I think he's a guy that's a potential. I could see them trading him.
Yeah.
He's 2 years into that contract.
probably due for a contract soon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're
he was drafted
rebuilding.
in the first round or second round.
Pittman?
I think second. It definitely wasn't first.
Yeah, it wasn't first,
So
but
they don't have a fifth-year option.
Honestly, I mean, we're saying this about Pittman. I do like Pittman.
Yeah.
If it falls down to me, like in the right spot in a draft, and
Yeah,
I
me
took
too.
him his rookie year, but really a lot of he was getting all the targets.
Yeah.
So a lot of his value and points were weighted towards his targets, and then of course his receptions that come from them. So if you get other receivers that are proving their spot on the roster, then that probably ticks down a little bit. So,
Yeah, I just think Alec Pierce could be. I don't want to be crazy, but I just like speed, size. He gets down, he can make plays, and I think there's a chance that they can move on from him. You start rolling this out with Downs as a rookie, Richardson as a rookie, Pierce in his second year. Get that money off the books, and maybe they kind of focus the offense, funnel some more targets towards Pierce.
Yeah.
Starts making plays, and then
yeah, it's possible.
rookie likes this guy. Maybe Pittman's out the door.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I just channeled Zach.
Very fair.
And that's a cool like ARP, Anthony Richardson to Pierce ARP.
ARP.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. All right.
All right.
With that being said, fantasy segment's done. We're gonna be moving on to Phil's segment child here. Smash or pass.
You're reading this though, right?
Oh, I feel this feels weird.
Yeah, it does feel.
You want me to read it? Then
I
you
feel
should
like
have sent
you
it to
should.
me.
You can read it. Yeah, I'll send it to you.
I feel like
TV timeout real quick.
it feels dirty if he reads it while
Yeah.
you're here.
Dirty, huh?
Yeah.
We almost felt bad last week for doing it without you.
Did you guys do it? Oh, you did it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did it, but that was like God didn't let us hit the
Maybe.
record button.
Okay.
Yeah,
here we
that
go.
was. Yeah.
All right.
Got
So this is NBA free agency. Okay.
Smash
NBA
or
free
pass.
agency smash or pass. Here we go, boys. You ready?
Ready.
Who's going first? Zach. Okay. Wemby will take the league by storm.
I'm gonna say smash here.
Yeah, you got to smash it. I do want to see him gain some weight, but I do smash this.
Do we think when we say storm, what do we mean?
He becomes the face of the league.
Yeah, rookie of the year.
Oh, so we're projecting a few years out. Huh?
He's
Oh.
he's gonna become the league.
He's got to gain some weight, man. He's slim.
I'm gonna smash.
Yeah.
All right, OKC, 5th seed or better. I like this one. It's on you.
Oh,
bud.
smash.
I want to pass because you smashed, but I think they had some great moves. I think they got that the player that was hurt last year that's
Chet.
coming back. Yeah, I think he's going to invigorate them a little bit. So yeah, I'll say 5th seed.
I also want to pass, but I'm gonna have to smash for that reason.
Dude, I mean,
think,
yeah, forget the
Giddey,
moves
Shea
they had.
Gilgeous,
Yeah, they
Chet.
have the moves.
yeah,
and they've got
they're
like
a little
what,
scary.
6 number ones left.
They have
still.
35 firsts.
35 first in the next 7?
Yeah.
yeah.
Holy
it's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, Houston Rockets are a playoff team.
Smash. I full-heartedly believe this.
They got Van Fleet, right?
Are we? All right. So let me ask you something. Are we counting the play-in as a playoff?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
So you're saying they're 8th or better.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm going to pass this. I think they're going to need to gel a little bit. I'd like to see him get one more player in trade before I'm saying they're for sure.
I'm also gonna pass. I love the I love the core.
Yeah.
I
think they could do it.
I don't know.
The eighth
I feel
seed-
like they're so young.
8th seed is fine.
I can see them making a
they're-
9 or 10th seed getting into play-in.
They're so young, but they brought in Van Fleet. They brought in Dylan Brooks. They brought in Jeff Green.
Yeah, but Dylan Brooks.
They
is
literally
the
brought
one
in
that is-
Uncle Jeff Green.
That's true.
I don't
But
love
who's
that
gonna-
Dylan Brooks.
Ime Udaka is now their head coach, and he is an incredible coach.
True.
Their young core is young, but I mean, Andrew, I think his last name is Sengun, Sehudain, something like that.
That guy, yeah.
He did well last year. I mean, Jalen Green has been sus lately, but other than that, they have a young core that I think will do okay with the veterans around them, with the veteran head coach. Give it to me.
You make a
Pause.
You think
compelling
Harden?
case.
You think Harden's going there?
No.
No, I think that went out the window
That
with
would-
Van Fleet.
That would waste. That would. Yeah,
I mean,
he
they got
shouldn't
the
go back.
money to blow, though. That's one thing I will say.
Yeah, but they shouldn't bring back Harden.
Yeah. All right. So Wizards finally move on. Are we talking about Beal? Right. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, it's me. I keep forgetting that.
Yeah. He just wants long
I originally said smash, but I'm gonna pass this, and we'll explain after, I guess.
I am going to smash it. I think they have moved on. That this.
Are we saying we agree or they have moved on? I mean, they obviously moved on.
Do you agree with it?
Yeah. Do you agree with that move?
Okay. Do I agree with
Yeah.
that moving on? Yeah, I'll smash that.
I also smash. So why do you pass?
I originally was saying smash because they have finally moved off on it, but I mean they moved off on Bradley Beal's contract to pay Kyle Kuzma to bring Jordan Poole in to give him a deal. Like
Yeah.
I guess they do have a direction now. They're a bad team that will get better.
Yeah.
Which they didn't have with Beal because it's Beal, but I just feel like if they were to do this, they shouldn't have paid players.
Well, all right. So I think
Is Kuzma really the best player on your team and
No.
you're paying him like it too?
right thing to do was to move on from Beal because you kind of been middle of the road for the last 4 or 5
Yeah.
years.
I agree with
It
that.
You
wasn't
gotta
working
clean
with
house.
him.
But NBA, you got to remember they have a salary floor, so they have to give out deals. So what we would have to do is really look into the language of the deals, how soon can they get out of it, but they have to allocate that money. It's like in their law, like their league rules. So they have to give somebody money. The thing is, when you see teams like this that are kind of tanking or not building for the future, they're going to be a lot shorter term deals.
I just
where
wish
they could get out.
they're the players that they paid or the players that are going to be focal points. I wish were just like a little bit older and more expendable or movable in a few years. But like Poole
Maybe.
is like, if Poole has a prime, it's now. If,
Well, I think
if
you-
Kuzma
I-
has a prime, it's now.
I think Poole could stick around though. Poole is still kind of young.
Yeah, but he's going to get paid soon too.
Yeah, but you gotta also think forward. If they're losing, trade deadline, somebody needs a scorer off the bench. They can move him for an asset.
I probably smash this next free agency when they move off of a player that they're probably paying
Okay, glad we almost swung you. All right, son. Second round exits again. Are you saying exist or exit?
No, I spelled that wrong.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Exit.
Son, second round exit again? Question mark.
Pass. I don't even think they make it to the second round.
I think they're gonna make it to at least the second. But I'm gonna smash that they're gonna exit again here.
I'm gonna second round. All right, yeah, I'm gonna pass on the second round exit. I think
They go past it?
they go past it.
Do you think they go to the Western Conference Finals?
I think that last year they lost because they had no bench.
Yeah, no
What do they have
And
this
I think
year?
they beat. I could pull it up.
I mean,
they
they've
pull it
they've
up.
gotten a few players.
They've
They
got
have
it. Well,
Eric. They have Eric Gordon. They have.
They got Bradley Beal. Let's not forget that.
That's not the bench.
I know.
Yeah,
but
but
they
I'm saying,
might-
but let's
Chris
not just
Paul.
act like that didn't happen.
They might
Yeah,
get
but I mean, they got
Bobo.
Bill, but they lost
Suns.
Paul, and that Paul gave him some veteran leadership there.
Ooh. Yeah, I'll cut in between this, but I was reading it. I should have took a list of it.
They have. I mean, their second. Okay, so first of all, their starting five is Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Joshua Colgay, Kevin Durant, and DeAndre Ayton.
That's
Then they
his
have-
burner account.
Then they have Cameron Payne, Eric Gordon, Kieta Bates Diop, Wuta
Diop is
Watambi,
solid.
and Bismack Biyombo. What the fuck? That's it.
All solid players.
No. Bismack Biyombo, old. Keita Bates Diop, okay. Eric Gordon, old. Cameron Payne, old. Wuta Wannabe, never heard of him.
Come on, come on. You're being a little bit harsh now.
I'm being harsh.
So you
You don't like
all right,
Bismarck
so
as he left the Magic.
Bismack is not going to give you minutes. especially deep into the Western Conference Finals.
No, I mean, he could give you a few minutes.
Cameron Payne I like as the backup guard, but I mean Eric Gordon.
I mean,
Another-
Gordon's still a decent player.
Yeah, he's okay, but
he's a spot up shooter, and that's
Yeah.
all you need him to be.
Yeah.
they have all of that in their starting roster. I mean, you're telling me that Cameron Payne, Eric Gordon, Bismack Biyombo, and then 2 players that I haven't even heard of are going to be running a second unit for a Western
Do you
Conference
think
Finals
that
team?
they're going to be running their rotations like that? Or
Probably
do you think
not.
They're going to stagger them.
No, though it'll be staggered.
They're going to have to stagger them because you're going to have kind of a logjam with Beal and.
And this is even if
Devin.
they keep DeAndre Ayton.
They're going to keep DeAndre Ayton.
They're probably going to have to keep DeAndre Ayton until it becomes like DeAndre Ayton is not a easy player in a locker room. It's gone to show that.
Well, I've heard that a lot of that was with the coach, and that's why the coach is gone.
Well, yeah, but then you have Frank Vogel. I mean, that's okay, but
Frank Vogel's a good coach.
Frank Vogel's a good coach. He's a good defensive coach, but I mean, he won a championship with LeBron being the court general.
That's fair, but they have
Kevin Durant is not a court general.
I
He
think
doesn't have to be a court general.
Yeah, but when you have a head, I don't know if Vogel's grabbing this by the rails, and
I think so. I
think if they stay healthy,
this is long, huh?
but I think if they stay healthy, that they can go past the second round.
Yeah, that's the
my
thing.
big
To me,
worry
the
is
health, yeah.
is KD going to be healthy, KD, or injured?
I trust KD.
See, I think he's
Yeah,
what
but
makes me worry.
Yeah, but
worried.
KD and Booker were there and healthy in the playoffs last year.
Paul got hurt again.
So was Ayton. Yeah, but Chris Paul. Okay, you take out Chris Paul, you put in Bradley Beal. That's great. That's an impressive upgrade. But
Yes.
they lost because they didn't have depth. They lost because they were small and not
But
muscling teams
they'll-
defensively.
They did add on the bench, even if you don't love the players. And adding Beal allows them to stagger their lineup. So they're they can have 2 of those guys out there with the second unit.
No,
You could offset Beal and Book or something. You're gonna start the game with them, but your rotations for the rest of the game, probably until the stretch in the fourth quarter, is gonna be.
We'll see it. I mean, I trust I think the Spurs forward that they grabbed, and I trust Cameron Payne a little bit less, but I do. But I mean, other than that, like.
Yeah, I hear you. All right. Next one. Sixers are in shambles.
Smash.
I don't think they're in shambles. I think that
They're
they're not in a great spot, but I think that they could recover. I think they're still a smart team.
I pass. Why do you think they're in shambles?
They're paying Paul Reed way more than they have to because the city would light the organization on fire. Embiid's prime window is really getting small. Yeah. Other than Maxey, what else is really promising for the Sixers right now? Harden doesn't even want to play there. I don't know if I trust Daryl Morey as a GM. I mean, I
don't think they're in shambles. Is strong.
I think they're.
You still have the MVP.
I think I see through the cracks.
So do you think they make the playoffs next year?
They have to make the playoffs.
Okay,
That's,
so then
that's
how
not.
can they be in shambles and make the playoffs?
They're in shambles because they make the playoffs all these years with Embiid being who he is for the longevity of a season, and then they can't make it past the second round. They're going to do that again.
Well, that's not shambles though.
That's shambles.
No, it's not.
The Sixers are in shambles.
It's a good thing
Not
you're a
shambles.
Magic fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
That's
good. It's a good thing.
That's true. All right. Warriors get Paul.
Pass.
I'm gonna smash this. I think
I'm
he's going there.
gonna smash too.
Yeah, I think he's going there. I don't think he's got
well,
much
no,
left.
Oh,
No,
wow.
he is going. He is
He
there.
just had the moment, no?
Oh, I did.
You did have the moment. We're saying, okay, let's try it again. I'm gonna leave that in for sure. Are you smashing or passing him on the Warriors?
No, I'm smashing. I'm smashing. Yeah, no, I think I don't think he's got a ton left, but I still think he has enough left on a team like them, like their team.
I smashed. I like him better than Poole.
Yeah.
Rather have him than Poole.
Yeah.
I mean, the most important thing for them was keeping Draymond. You get Paul, who is a floor general for whatever else you want to call him. He is, and the minutes he could give you, most of the time he's going to be effective. And whatever second unit you put him out there with, I feel like he can maximize who's on the floor. So
Yeah.
I like it.
I think the only thing about Paul is he tends to get injured at some point when they need him the most.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, NBA World Cup. No idea what this is.
We can skip it then.
No,
it
go
would
ahead.
take too long to explain.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Ja will be back better than ever.
Pass.
I mean, he's not going to be back soon, so I'm going to pass this.
I'm going to pass too, but I just think I think there's a lot going on there. I think there's big trouble, little China.
Mm-hmm.
There's something there. He seems like he.
It's a problem. It's a problem
He has
now.
a way that he tends to get in trouble.
I think so. I think what a lot of people aren't talking about with Ja is the gun stuff is whatever. To me, it's like it's just a gun, but it's. I think he has an alcohol problem. I don't know if you guys really watch a lot
Maybe
of
an
that.
authority problem too.
Maybe that
I think it
too,
all
but-
derives from that, though, from the alcohol problem.
But the guy, every video, all these videos, the guy's just taking back Patron like it's water around his family. Nobody's saying anything. You know, I'm not calling out his family, but just seems like it's normal goings on. In mid-season, guys drinking a Patron like it's a Sprite. It's just not.
Yeah.
Not normal.
Isn't there's rumors around the locker room that he parties late before games? Like he doesn't seem to have that killer instinct. I mean, he's talented for sure, but
Well, I think he's the kind of guy. Well, if he's doing super talented, drinking too much, partying, league's gonna catch up to you. Still not a consistent jump shooter. Can attack the basket, all that good stuff. But that thing, it could go real quick from being a phenom to being just a guy, a good player.
Yeah.
Like,
It's going to be interesting to see what the league is once, like, Kevin Durant, LeBron, like, all these guys retire. Because, like, the NBA talent, like, on the young side is
I think
really
that's
up
why
in the air.
That's why they're betting so much on Wemby. Like, I
Yeah.
think that they're really wanting him to be the face of the NBA because who else is there?
Yeah.
there's some guys, but
Yeah, there are
Benny
guys,
Hero.
but there's not like
nobody's established
Yeah.
himself really. Yeah, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Luka, probably Luka.
All right, well, that is the show. Thank you for sticking around. Before you leave, make sure you comment, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure to stick around and wait for our guests to come on in August and September. We're really hoping that you see what we got planned. Follow us on our social media, anywhere that you currently follow social media at G1 Podcast. Make sure to listen and watch wherever you listen to watch podcasts. We love you. Thank you, and goodbye.